Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. I'm here again with Fleece. What's up, Fleece?
Oh man, it's all good. Hey, I want to speak on something.
Okay.
You know, a friend of my wife's daughter came to the house and said that she saw an interview from Vlad with Boosie. I said, eh? She said, oh, he didn't say nothing. Said Boosie was like, yell this, yell that. I said, all right. I said, I don't care. But here's what I want to really say is this. Yesterday, I took my agent down to my hometown, homecoming. They call it Ham Day. Everybody, the whole town gets together. People's all out walking around and socializing, and you know what they do. Ain't getting nothing but love, bro. And we gonna put them videos on here soon. Well, you know, y'all get to see my family, right? My side of the family. And the people, what they got to say about me. And they love me. And Boosie, I want you to know this, bro. My next step, I'm going to do some videos in my hood around the hood dudes and let them talk. I ain't got nothing but love. So whatever that white man is telling y'all, it's all a lie, bro. I want all the rappers to know Vlad, whatever he's called, he's a liar, he's a punk. I ain't gonna never forget it, man. I just ain't in a position right now to really proceed the way I wish to proceed with it. But yeah, I want everybody all through America to know, man, that Vlad is a liar. And then all my people love me. From the hood, I'm gonna let y'all see all of them pretty soon. Them videos gonna hit, and y'all gonna see who supports me. That's it. Funny and crazy. Yeah, I want to talk about something. People keep talking about my experiences in prison, right? Just imagine just sitting down to yourself. You thinking about your family on the streets. If anybody gonna come and visit you, if you can get your case back in court, get out, and all that. You know, that's some of the daily things prisoners think about in prison. So I'm sitting there, and they had a sissy in there named Tyrone. He was black. He came out one day with a cape. He done took a sheet and tied his cape around his neck like a cape. And he had on a little G-string, and he was running through the prison saying he was Wonder Woman. And that shit, that's the type of stuff that we got to see in prison on a daily basis. So, you know, you got people out there, they talk about getting in trouble, committing crimes, and I ain't gonna get caught, man. I got a plan. Everybody in prison, like I said, had a plan, but they still locked up. Plan wasn't shit. If you a person that you don't want to be around that, don't get in trouble. Let me tell you what my mama used to tell me. I called my mama. She said, hello. I said, Mama. She said, yeah. I said, I'm in jail. She said, guess what? I said, what? She said, I'm not. And one day I said, well, the reason you ain't is because, she said, because of what? She said, say it. I said, because you ain't did nothing. She said, right. She said, but you did. If you in jail, you somewhere you want to be, That's how my family is. If you in jail, that's where you want to be. If you in the penitentiary, uh, we wish you well, man. Hope you have a good time. That's how they come at you. Tough love, bro. One day I was in prison. This is stuff that you usually don't hear about. I'm walking the loop. I'm minding my business because in prison, I ain't walk with nobody. I ain't have nobody that I walk with on a daily basis. I was a loner. And I come around the yard one day, and all the inmates is standing around, and it's like, I'm like, what happened? It was a black dude. He laying there up under the water tower, stabbed 21 times. Over a white lady that works in the prison. See, them country girls that work in them prisons down there, Eddyville, big boned, big old hips, big butts, big breasts, cute. And them uniforms fit them real tight. You can see all these prints and stuff. So they walking around, and they ain't trying to switch. It's just the way they walk and the way they built. It's sexually provocative. And they pants skin tight. So dude, I found out, had a relationship with her. And they was having sex. So a guard found out about it, but he couldn't prove it. But he knew. So he gave his inmates some weapons and some whiskey. And they killed that man. See, that's the stuff I was seeing when I first went to Eddyville. These black people was being singled out. And I look around, they just dropping like flies, man. I mean, and the rest of them wasn't fighting back. Everybody was scared to fight back. But I fought. And because I fought back, now I'm giving the bad rap like I'm a, whatever they try to say I am. But here's what I understand about that. I'll never forget when Jesus was being crucified, all them people out there persecuting him, they was hollering, kill him, all that. He ain't did nothing. Kill him. And the man said, no, I ain't gonna have nothing to do with it. Y'all do it. They said, yeah. His blood be on us and on our children. It's through all generations. They curse their children through all generations. On that, his blood be on us and on our children. That's how they said it. So I understand, right? When in our religion they talk about people, the persecutors. Who are they? And in any religion, it'll come out to one thing. They devilish. They got a devilish spirit in them. Just like Blade, the man is a habitual liar. He got one of them devil spirits in him. I'm seriously saying that literally. He got a spirit in him that is totally unclean. And he sits back and he talks about people and he persecutes people for crimes they did not even commit. That's a foul persecutor. But anyway, let me get back on the target. I witnessed it. And also, see, in the prison, them guards, that's just like in any department. I don't care if it's Louisville, up under the management of that new lady. That's crap. They got gangs on the police force. They got them in the penitentiary. They got them in the FBI. They got them in all crime units. They got their little, what they call their units, is usually their gangs. It's, they try to modelize it into a real cute word. Oh, this is my unit. No, it's your gang. That's what they do. They all stick together, fight together, laugh for each other, cheat for each other. They do all that, cover up for each other. Then what they call units is really just a gang put in under a nice name, And the prison got them, Gore gangs. I done seen them and I done fought them. I fight one gang, one Gore. Then when the ship changed, his buddies, part of his little gang, they want to take up. Fleece? I said, yeah. I heard you hit one of my brothers, spit on him. I said, I did. Well, we'll be to talk to you later. I said, okay, I'll be waiting. And I'll be waiting. And I'll do the same to them. That's why I started realizing in prison, when you fight an organization, and you got some in the organization where they say, oh, he's all right. They don't act the same way. You can't look at it like that. You got to look at them all as a whole. And that's what I did. I fought. I won. They had feelings about it, so when I get out of prison, all that stuff, why don't they just say instead of saying, they did Dracula like that, he was a hero. But then they said he turned into a bat and all this shit, and they made movies out of him. They took a hero and put him out here as a curse. Okay, if you're going to do me, here's what I want you to do to me. Say I'm a booty man, and at nighttime I turn into whatever you hear. I don't know how y'all do that shit, but it's silly. Here's one thing I understood. This shit was bothering me. Because I'm saying here's a white man land. But when I listened to a Scarface song, Public Enemy, and I went back and listened to some more songs by other rappers, the ones that talked about what really going on in the country with white people in the black community. When I re-listened to their music, I realized they already know. They already know what I'm going through, what I'm up against, and who I'm fighting. And they know these people, white people, is powerful. They using TV and the ink, the computer, and lies to, make me look like what I ain't. I make me look like somebody they want me to look like. But,
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You told me before that they use food for punishment. How did they do that?
There's, for instance, there's been plenty of times that just because I acted up, I don't get fed. And then one time, they said, you've been shitting down all the guards. So they created something of food. Like, take all the slop from inmates. Instead of taking it out there to the pigs and feed the pigs and the hogs with the leftover slop, they would take the slop and pet it into little round balls, cook it, bring it to me and sit there. I said, I'm not eating that shit. They did that to me. And matter of fact, the thing was brought to the court attention. That little thing they were trying to feed me. It looked just like duty.
So everybody's leftover stuff, they petted out?
Petted it out and tried to feed it. And that is documented, recorded. When I say documented, I mean wrote and filmed of them trying to hand it to me. And I told them I ain't eating it. You know, I went through some stuff in there, man. But I'm not a crybaby. You know, I didn't come out here on the streets talking about, oh man, they did it. Only thing that really got me up on this internet is when they said I raped a lot of people and I ain't raped nobody. Now that offended me. All this other stuff, I don't care about none of that. Who makes what money, how much money Vlad made, how he did it, I don't care. But when you take my name and throw it out there that I'm a raper, and you got people in America wishing they can kill me, try to kill me, put it like that. Because I ain't going to let it happen. People that want to fight me, you know, don't even know me. That's personal, man. You know, that part of my life, the raping part, that's my protest, man. That's why I'm up here talking. So if they want to talk about me, I'm going to talk about them. We're going to bring this to the surface. And I'm going to make sure, like I said, if you got any proof that I'm whatever you say that I am, this is what I'm putting out there. If you got proof, put it out. Don't sit there and tell Boosie and all them people, oh, he's this and that. Put it out. Show them the documents. Show them the document. Show a documentation where I ever been accused. Just show a statement where somebody say, hey, he assaulted me. I never even been accused of the shit. So, people said, what have I did since I've been out? Man, I had all kinds of jobs. I used to do banquets. I fundraised to feed the hungry and the poor. Every weekend, I stand out there collecting money to feed people. I did it since I've been out. And so, it's a long story about that situation. I'm going to give that person a break, but I'm going to go to the next subject. Is that I found myself I'm on parole. And I got kicked out of this halfway out. So I go to a thing where they was holding programs, you know, at nighttime in this building, Catholic church building. And so it was ran by Susan Seabold. She's the wife of William Seabold, the warden that just retired from the Grange that they said was the longest serving warden in Kentucky. He served longer than any. So I went in there and I ain't had a shower in like 3 days. So stinking. I ain't been asleep. I'm thinking when I go see my PO, they gonna put me back in prison. So, boy, I gotta come up with something. So I go to the program. So she's in there talking. Yeah, we help people, we do this and that. I said, there's your opportunity. I said, I wish somebody helped me because I want the group to know that I ain't had a shower in 3 days and I'll sleep. I put her on Front Street. So she had to call her friend Kathy, all them tied into Franklin Correction, you know. And she said, yeah. Let him stay, and Monday we'll contact his PO, see what they think. So my PO said, good. Now the place I'm staying in is a mansion that was converted into a halfway house. I said, damn, these people got money. My room was huge. I said, oh, Lord. Whew, thank you. But I started doing banquets and stuff for this lady. You know, people all want to take advantage of old Fleece. Fleece, you got a testimony. You found Jesus. Will you go speak to these people? I said, yes, ma'am. So she was taking me to events. I always been a guest speaker. 82 tables, 8 people to a table. Fundraising. I remember one day I looked at a check. It had $15,000 on it. I said, damn. I called her. She said, go on back. I'm going to have Luther put it in the envelope and I come and get it. I don't know how much money it was, but I think she gave me $20 or $30. And she kept the rest. Over and over, I was taken to these places, you know. I did banquets up in a PNC building. I want y'all to know it too. I did a banquet up there. Let me tell you who was the guest at my banquet. David Davidson, Brenda Diamond, they got a diamond company. Miss Brown, they owns the Brown, billionaire lady that owns Brown's Hotel. The lady that owned the mink store that sells mink, real mink. They was at the banquet. I'm the guest speaker in front of these people. See, y'all ain't know it either, did you? I never forget what Miss Brown said. She said, Jerome. See, I went by my middle name. Because, you know, I was still on the persecution, all this internet stuff. So instead of using Fleece, I used Jerome, my middle name. So she said, Jerome, go out there in my Mercedes and get them boxes of pamphlets. Gave me the keys. Miss Brown, billionaire. I went out there and got it, bought it, set it down. I'm looking straight like this. I ain't never been in the presence of these type of people. You know, billionaires and stuff. People that own mink stores and diamond stores and... Whew. So I'm trying to act like, you know, like I ain't never been locked up. She said to me, she had this cane she was leaning on, Miss Brown, and she said, Jerome, she said, everybody in here is full of shit, but they think I don't know it. I'll never forget that statement out of her. But anyway, back to the story. I'm doing all these banquets, and I ain't getting nothing out of it. These people's writing a hell of a checks. You know, the little projects that we holding a banquet to fundraise is nothing. They're like a tax right off to them. It ain't nothing. They got their thing from meeting each other. Mink store owner meets a billionaire, Miss Brown. Miss Brown meet Brenda Diamonds, who got a diamond company. You know, all these people got something in common. And they thank me for bringing them together. That's how I made the guest list. So, anyway, it came a time that Miss Sebo, Susan, William, he's retired as the Warden of Kentucky. Standing ovation he got through Frankfurt, through everything. Hey, Sebo. Hey, good luck, brother. So she takes me from the 18th and Standard, where the halfway house was at Mansion. It's still there. In Louisville, Kentucky, 18th and Standard. And say, hey, I got a job for you, honey. I said, what? She said, you know, we getting ready, my husband is retiring. So we got to move our property from where they live. You know, the warden live on the house that the corrections give him. See, he lived right down from the penitentiary, from the Grange. And they moving to Crestwood, Kentucky. That's where they at now, I bet. So you can do the math, you can check all that. So they done took most of the other stuff out of there, like the weapons and all that. You know, there wasn't no weapons or nothing I can get a hold of, nothing like that. But other stuff, she brought a lot of boxes, told me to put stuff in the box. And her son, he had a hat rack with about 100 hats. So if you the son of Susan, you'll know I'm telling the truth because I know about your hat rack. I the one that stacked them up, and I took 2 of them. But anyway, this went on from the day to day. So I packed stuff up in a box, set boxes out to the side. So she'll come to see me when it's dark. I'll put it on the back of the truck. So she'll drive off, take it to Crestwood to their new house they're going to move into. Then come back, pick me up, and take me back to the halfway house on 18th and Standard. So that was the usual routine of it. And she always did it. But one day, she came in there, and she had on this little dress thing. It was fitting her good, you know, and she built. And so she was trying to get up in this closet, and I'm trying to get this thing off the shelf for her. And she scooted in right there beside me. I got aroused. One thing led to another. So, I ain't think nothing about it. It was all good. But I was nervous, man. So, the next day, I ain't seen her. So I'm putting all these stuff in the box. Whew. Boy. Her husband, Seabo, come. He said, I'm going to take you back to the house. I said, you are? He said, yeah, I'm driving you back. He said, let me stop and get you something to eat. So he stopped at this place and got something. I'm sitting in the SUV waiting on him. He come back. I go to the halfway house. I eat the food. Man, I wake up the next day, I'm in U hospital with IVs in both arms. Said I've been poisoned. Now that's documented, that's on file. So you can't erase that, right? I mean, how can you erase that? So let me give you a little bit more of what's going on. I survive and go back to the halfway house. Here come a black police officer and a white one. I said, what's up? They said, we told to lock you up. You violated your parole. I said, what? Man, I ain't, well, they said, this dude said, you broke a glass or some old shit. Let me tell you what they did. Not only did they lock me up, they bypassed which is against the law. It's against the law and policy. They didn't take me through no process. You know, like you go to court, you get convicted, you get sentenced, you go to prison, you get your parole revoked, you still got to go before a judge and all this. They did none of that. Sent me back to Eddyville prison. They didn't take me through intake, you know, the regular processing of it, through classification, because you got to get classified to prisons. They'll determine what prison they will send you to based on your classification, you know, your point system and stuff. They didn't do none of that. Put me right in Eddyville prison. And them inmates said, man, we didn't even see you on the move list, man. I said, bro, let me tell you what's going on, man. So I sit there and told him about this white lady. Check this out. I was in a couple of days. Back in prison. And I heard some footsteps coming down the hall. High heels. We all know it got to be a woman. It ain't the nurse, because the nurse don't wear high heels. And it was her, Susan. She said, get up, pack your stuff, you going home. Everybody in prison said, what? They said, hey, man, sue them people, man. You need to sue them. And they came and got me out of prison. It's just how they playing with power.
What year was that?
I can't think of the year, but it's since I've been out.
Like the last 7, 8 years?
It's been, about.
Wow.
I went back to prison. They came in there and got me out at nighttime. I ain't go through no process. She came and got me. She said he knows.
Mm.
Her husband, he knows.
Did the hospital say what type of poison was in you?
Man, let me tell you, it was food poison. So he done found out. William Seabold, the warden, done found out that I loved his wife more than him. And I guess he didn't like it. Tried to kill me. But to sweep all that under the table, they knew his stuff was going to come out, you know. Go up there and get him because he's going to protest this. Everybody's going to know what happened, so they came in before it sparked a lot of outrage.
Came and got you back out of prison.
Came and got me out. That happened, man. I got enemies out here, bro. I know too much. That's why they putting all this stuff on the internet, hoping they don't want nobody to believe nothing I say. Because they know I know too much about what they done, all their corruption, the murders and all that stuff in prison. Them girls know, I know all about it. Next thing I want to tell you about is Rufus. Everybody heard of him, and been through prison. He's about I say Rufus about 6'3", weighed about 280. He was the biggest weightlifter ever came through that prison. I'm talking about his arms was like that. His chest was out. He had all them stomach muscles. Big old legs looked like tree trunks, man. And he was, little afro. He coming out in the 70s. But he was a freak, man. And he sucking things. And they say he don't like number white boys, but he suck them. And so I'm like, come on, man, this big dude, man. I see him down there lifting them weights, bro. I'm talking about curling 300. All that old stuff all day. Then he'll holler, shit, shit. And I said, damn. But them white boys, when he's done, he go get him. I saw him with this little white boy, little short dude. Now, you know how you put people on the back of your neck? You know, kids, put them on your neck, and their legs be like this. He was sucking his boy, had his leg in the reverse. His butt was out here and his legs around dude's neck, and he was doing them like that, like he was lifting weights, sucking him. And then sucking him. And then put him down after he drained him. Wiped his mouth, said, I need more. I need more. And he'll go get somebody. And them little white boys are scared to death because he's huge. They'll be like, man, I'm not going to fight him here, man. You want to suck his? That's where he got his strength from, sucking them things, bro. That's Rufus. And then they had a dude named Pappy. Pappy's supposed to be an OG, right? You know, out of Louisville. You know, a little player. We knew him on the streets, hustling, getting money and stuff. But they made him wear special underwears in prison. That the prison had a soul, cause his ding-dong was so long. He had about like an 18-inch thing, bro. If he wore regular underwears, half of it would come out through the pants leg of the underwears. That's how big his thing was, how long. So what he used to do is cut the hole in his pants pocket and put his thing up through the hole. And so he'll go talk to one of these ladies and be sitting there talking to her with his hands in his pocket. He, you know, especially in the winter, ooh, it's cold, but he's jacking himself off, right? It's cold out here. Like that, and they be going for it. And then when the head pop up through the pants pocket, and that lady see what's in his hands, they start screaming, ah! Ah! And then here come all the guards there, tackle him, wrestle him down, and stuff like that. But Pappy, hey, and white girls and nurses, they come through, and he'll get them. That's when he had them underwears, the regular underwears. He said, yeah, I like to get some cold tie. He'll be walking up there, and that thing will come through the... She said, is that his thing? Is that his thing come through his... oh, my God, what is that? And then the guard said they going to have... sewing class, sew him some underwear, put an extra sleeve on there where his thing would come up through there. And that happened, man. It's crazy. And then they had this gay boy now named Nene. White. He was a white citizen. Everybody said they wanted him because he had a butt like Serena Williams. You know.
Serena,
the tennis player. He was built like her. But he was a white boy, about our size, you know, height and everything. But he was gay. So, but Nene will fight. But one day we on the yard, and them guards was running all in the back. I said, what happened? So this lady got raped up there, a guard. Nene, you know, they tricking ladies and all them gay ones. They make them think that, you know, girl, I'm gay. You ain't got nothing to worry about with me. You know, I'm trying to get some lipstick from you all, you know, makeup and all that shit. And them ladies let the guard down, then they grab him in a chokehold and rape him. And that's what he did. And let me tell you. The lady he raped, she was like, man, she had a great big old butt, man. I'm talking about her legs was thick, but she had a little smart attitude, right? Couldn't nobody really get around her, you know. And Nene told the lady that he wanted to clean his cell. So she brought a mop bucket by his door and opened his gate. And he didn't do nothing then because it take a cage lady to open the door, not the officer. So when the cage lady was told to leave the door open and went on back to her duty, the lady guard came back, said, "Are you finished?" He grabbed her, threw her on the floor, tore all the shit off of her, and tore her up, man. I mean, boy. Hey, we seen her come out wearing an orange jumpsuit, you know, cause he tore her clothes, so they put her in an orange jumpsuit, something to wear. But boy, they brought him out. They stomped him, beat him. All the guards said they gonna kill him. All them, you know, the mean guards, kill him, all that. So they was wondering what they gonna do with him. We gonna send him to another prison and all this, right? And I knew they was gonna kill him, you know. And really, it ain't none of my business. I ain't have nothing to do with it. But there was one guard, or two of them, that when I was in a hole, and they chained me to a bed, one of them hit me while I was forward pointed to a bed. One of them was hit me like that. I turned my head like that, and he went over and I turned my head. He hit me out in the head. I said, "Man, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get both of y'all. One of these days I'm gonna get you, right?" So on this particular day, when they had Nene hooked up, and they go threw him on the ground, all the inmates is watching. They telling all the inmates, back up, back up. You know, I climbed the fence. They shut their gate. I climbed the fence and went down there and helped. I fought all of them down there. But the main one I wanted to get is the one I told them when I see you, I'm going to get you. It took that long. See, that's what kept me in prison all that time. So a lot of times I had parole on my way home, but I see a guard that I done told I was going to get. Everybody said, "Man, Fleece, go home, man. Don't get institutionalized, man."
You had to get him back.
I had to get him. And I got him. First thing I want to do is talk about this gay guy named Turk out of Lexington. Turk cool people for real, man. I mean, all the inmates, I don't care if you gay, straight, whatever, everybody deal with Turk. Turk was real skilled in paralegal work. People come to prison, need help on getting their case back in court. They get in trouble in prison, they need a legal aid. Turk help. Turk don't usually come to people with the sexual stuff. Just come straight up, you know. But me and Turk, we shared information, right? And so a lot of things, survivors depend on how much you know about other people. You know, the blackmail thing, right? But I think I talked about this before, about the Muslim, this Muslim dude in there. He was a E-man in Eddyville. He was in charge of all the Muslims. And we had words before. He coming to me with this, "Brother, Allah sent me to you to tell you, about your behavior." And so I'm like, "Hey, bro, all praise be to Allah, no doubt. But you need to get up out of my face." So we had words, right? And so all the Muslims in there, they was men's, most of them. Here in Kentucky, they don't take that stuff serious. Just like the gangs and all this, I've been hearing about Crips and Bloods in other states, how they act and operate, totally different from Kentucky, right? Just like I hear about a lot of other stuff, like the Muslims take it serious in Chicago, other prisons. But here in Kentucky, no. They eat pork chops, all they steal it. I used to watch them doing Ramadan and all that. Man, I done went 21 days without eating anything. So they can't even go a couple hours. And I used to see them with pork chops and stuff. And I made some jokes about it, so the Muslim E-man got mad about it. And gonna come at me with some little threatening remarks. But just around about that time, and I'm sitting there debating, oh man, me and that man gonna get in a fight sooner or later, but all the Muslims, they gonna fight with him, so I'll be outnumbered for real. Then they brought in that sissy named Turk. I never forget it. So me and Turk sat now. So I said, Turk, what they bring you back to Eddyville for? Oh, Turk said he cut his boyfriend at another prison, took a razor and cut him, and threw some hot stuff on him. So I'm sitting there laughing and stuff. So Turk said, what's wrong with you? I said, man, that Muslim over. I said, I want to fight him so bad. Turk said, which one? I said, that tall one. Turk said, that was my bitch on the street. I said, what? He said, yeah, that was Miss Thing on the street. I had him on crack. He ate my booty. He did this and that. I had him dressing up in panties and lipstick. I said, hold up. I'm talking about the tall. He said, I know who you're talking about. I said, look, I ain't never asked a favor out of you. And, usually people tell me something, it's in the confidence between us. You don't supposed to go back and tell what somebody done told you. You get a lot of stuff started. I said, I need your permission. Turk said, go ahead. So I went over. I said, I want to talk to my mother. But I said, come on, Fleece, man. Don't come over and try to start no trouble, man. I said, man, ain't nobody try to start no trouble. I just want to say what I got to say, man. First of all, I'll give my apology to y'all. Praise due to God. They say, man, don't come over and make fun of it. They was hyped up. They know I'm coming with something. Cause I guess they was over debating about fighting me anyway, right? And so whatever. So I said I was over to talk to my friend Turk, just came in about the situation that I had with your E-man. Him right here. He said, hey, brother, let me stop you before you... I said, ain't no stopping me. Turk said you was his girl on the street. You dressed up in drags. You did this and you did that. I said, did you? He looked at them. He said, brothers, what you heard is true. It was at a time when I was on drugs, and they said, man, you was they went crazy. They whooped his ass, They whooped his butt. So did. And then, guess what? 7 months later, Turk told me, said, you want to see something? I said, yeah. Told me where to go. I went, looked in the gym. Some white boy was doing it. So he's an E-man. So I was sick of people telling me about me. And I ain't did nothing. But boy, I can tell you some story about people. And I bet you it's a whole lot of people out here in society locked up, scared to death, that I'm going to get on this thing here and say something about them that I know. Something real bad that I know that they done real bad. But you know what? I'm not like that. I'm not like that. That's about it.